Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk Bougie. Welcome, 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 welcome. Bougie gang. Your lunch is ready. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? How is it going? I just got off another live, what in like maybe almost it feels like an hour ago, but I had to take like a little bit of a break. Um, you guys know I needed to let the dogs out. I needed to handle a few things around the house. Lunch is ready. I wish I had some real lunch though, but I don't. Um, Work from home problems, I think. But I'm not going to complain because I could, things could be very different. So I'm not even going to complain about it. If you're eating a good lunch right now, congratulations. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get some as soon as I finish with you guys, like somewhere in between me finishing up with you guys and me picking up Farah, I'm gonna find something to eat. If I don't get to before then I'm going to have to get it after. Then I'll just probably improvise because it's too much of a small window in between having to make dinner and my husband coming home and we got a 4-day weekend this weekend. My husband's got a 4-day weekend, Farrah's got 3-day weekend. So it's just gonna be busy. I probably need to put in a grocery order. Green goddess salad and Trader from Trader Joe's for the win. Green goddess salad. So what is that? Is that kind of like a spinach something? Everything green? Um Okay, so tomorrow's the big divorce day. That's number 1. I did kind of want to go through some of the divorce stuff, but somebody asked me in the other live to talk about the weird motion to dismiss the case against Sarah Boone. She's got to be out of her mind, and whoever filed it has to be out of their mind. So there's that. There's her inmate management report. um, I did find Armani in one of Jen and CG's videos. So if you've never seen Armani, if you guys even care to know who the guy is that set them up, um, I can show you guys that. Let's see. I think we are on some people did want a Sarah Boone update, but Sarah's definitely out of her mind. Yeah, it's so guys, get into it. This is someone who's going to be defending themselves. It's crazy. Um we're supposed to go back through Nesto's paperwork and match up the aliases. Yes, we talked about that too. There's so much to talk about. The main thing regarding Nesto's aliases, I don't know that the aliases have anything to do specifically with his current indictment. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute. Just a second. So the Victor, damn, I hold on. This guy is such a mess. Okay. Roderick Arnold and Victor West. What do they have to do? I don't know that they have anything to do with the full indictment. I really don't think that they do. I'm going to be honest. Um, some of the aliases that he used, for instance, and so this is the indictment that we have at the moment. This is what he's going to court for. Um, this is 24 SC 001723. Petty, what did you say? Let's see. What were we going to talk about? I love leftover lasagna. I need to be made, but it needs to be made maybe by a black person. I don't like traditional lasagna. We always add extra to it and made it our own. I yeah, I like lasagna, period. Um, I think if you see people make lasagna, it varies. Um, I think the American Italian food, um, yeah, American Italian, just like American Chinese, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not authentic anyway. It's authentically American Chinese. It's authentically American Italian. I just got here. Okay. All right, let me go back to what were we were supposed to match that up with his aliases. I think the aliases were used in previous crimes. I don't know that any of these people know Nesto by anything other than what they know him as, which is Ernest Williams, Nesto. What did they have on the top of the indictment? Ernest Williams. See, if whatever aliases that they could have that he might have used would be on here. And I think what seemed to be the reoccurring theme in what he's going to be going to court for sooner than later is on some Ernest Williams, Ernest Lavelle Williams, and Nesto. So I don't know that there's any other aliases that are baked into, and I could be wrong. I'm just not. I don't think so. I'm wondering what I was talking about on that day when I was like, well, let's go back and check. The one thing that I wanted to go back and look at in that document was when they talked about like witness tampering, um, that whole thing. That was interesting. Let's see. Okay. So starting at number one, we're going back to 2009. So the most recent document that came out for the intrinsic evidence, that starts so that starts like 1988, 1989. And I think he was using his fake names then. I don't know that any of these crimes the in the current indictment, maybe there are some times where he did use a fake name, but I don't have any information regarding like which crimes of all of the acts did he use a fake name. I wish we knew when he used Dog Williams. Yeah. Um I just want to know, how did he get to Dog Williams? I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be a good one to find out. I'm sure it's going to come out eventually. Um I never thought that we would find out about Roderick Arnold or Victor West. That's nuts. That is nuts. Let me see. What arrest is this right here? I search this one. I have let's see what he says. Oh, this is when he was dealing with the guy Coffin. I feel like we've read this before. Um, where did Frandrew come from? Frandrew came from one day he was talking to Sonia. I feel like I have it. Um, it came from a video. Nesto said it basically. That was one of his made up words. I think he was trying to say something like frenzy or frantic or um what else was he saying? I think it was maybe he was trying to come up with frenzy. I'm not sure. But he said something and I have to find it. I feel like I put it in a short. Um yeah, I think he was trying to say frenzy or maybe frantic, and he said something like don't get yourself in a frandrew, and it was just like, what did you say? And it was just, it was, you know, You know when Nesto comes up with those words, it's hilarious. I can try to find it. I think I have it in a short, but I can't say I readily like, oh, I remember the exact. I'm sure I pulled it because it was so funny that I felt like I had to. Um oh, okay. And then I found it, I think. Hold on, let me see. Girl. Y'all got to hit these shorts. You know I try to memorialize anything that means something to Bougie Gang. Okay, check this out. Let me go back. So any of you guys, I guess we're answering some questions and comments today. Okay. Anybody who wants to know what what in the Frandrew is a Frandrew?
Oh, in a Frandrew, me, I'm not worried
This was the Frandrew? You got to be kidding.
about nothing. After last,
Does he mean like a quandary or a
me, Frandrew, me, oh, in a Frandrew, me, I'm not worried.
Okay. So I think he was saying something like a frenzy, being worried, something like that. Yeah, he's the man is he's cuckoo. He's is girl. He made up his own word. Um it it don't make no sense. Okay. Okay. I just posted it. It's in the chat. Right at the 14:36 minute mark. If you want to know what a frandrew is, um, he's not going to get himself upset, worried, a frenzy, frantic, any of those, I guess, out of control type situations. A frandrew. Let me see. We were supposed to go back through Nesto's paperwork to match up the aliases. I don't know if we are going to be able to do that. So yeah, thank you for reminding me, Petty Patty. I don't know. We don't. So number one, so all of Nesto's aliases, we'll have to. I don't know when all of that is going to come out, as far as every single act in his indictment and all of the police reports, to also find out, did he present himself under another name? And it's quite possible. So I guess, I don't know. I don't have all of the police reports that make up the original indictment. So I don't know. I think that's not something that we can do today. That's something that I think one by one, um, these all of these are going to have to be looked at, all, and the police reports will have to be, let me see. So back in 2009 in DeKalb, so let's see. So act 1 with Drusilla Scott. Let me see if I can look something up in DeKalb. Let's see. I wonder how his name was spelled there, but let's just for shits and giggles take a look. DeKalb. Let's look up Ernest in DeKalb County. Is this smart search? Okay. Ooh. Okay, let's just do Earnest Williams. Don't you hate when you search something and it's like you have to click I'm not a robot, and it's like, come on now. Um of course there's a ton of Ernest Williams. Well, of course there would be. Let's see. 2009. I wish they would have put some case numbers for us. So let's see. That's the act. Let's go to count. Okay, count one is that. Okay, so this is what I want to see. I want to see this marriage license, but all right, DeKalb 2009. I wish I'd had some time to look at this before, so I would have been able to have it ready. 2011, 2009. Also, if you guys hear a chirp, the carbon monoxide detector just started chirping. Babe, if you're listening. So yeah. As soon as I got off my last live, everything started happening. I'm gonna have to find some of these police reports and the original complaints to be able to match up the aliases and like which crime did he commit under these aliases, and if anything says it. Pretty much as you can see in this report, like Melvin Stokes, I don't know what name he used under when he dealt with Melvin Stokes. Was it Nesto? Was it not Nesto? When he dealt with, let's see. Okay. For instance, Ms. Hawker in Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like, did he use Earnest Williams? Did he not use Earnest Williams? Carlos Torres. It doesn't give us the full narrative, and we'll have to pull those police reports. So that's going to take some time. So we know that he used Victor in those crimes because basically they gave us the narrative. So Victor and Arnold, girl. Just a second. Damn, Arnold. Roderick Arnold and Victor West. But it seems like Victor West was a go-to name because he used Victor Lamar. Wait, Victor Lamar West, Victor West, John West, Alcus Pittman, Marcus Favors. That might be my favorite one. I know some of you guys like Dog Williams, but I'm sorry. Alcus Pittman. What? Alcus Pittman, Marcus Favors, Roger Arnold, Roderick V. Arnold, and Roderick J. Not J, initial J, Jay. It's the sophistication of the names for me. This is crazy. He watches too many movies. He really does. Kanye's little brother, maybe Kanye's uncle. Okay. All right, let's we'll do some more Nesto stuff. I feel like we're going to have to do something. I've got something in mind for a little bit later. And we'll talk about it then. Marcus Favor sounds like a corn name. It really does. It sounds just as bad as what I think it actually is. But I don't know how they use, like, which crimes he used it in. So just bear with me. We'll figure it out. Okay. Somebody asked me in the last live, they wanted to go through a couple things. So why not? Let's go over here to Orange County real quick. Orange County, Florida. You guys. All right. What are we going to do first? So this came up yesterday and this was odd, but I think it's pretty easily explainable. So yesterday or the day before, let me see. Okay. So on 8/27, when was that? Today's the 29th. So 2 days ago, Monday. So Monday, this was clocked in the Orange County Clerk's office under Sarah Boone's name. I don't know that Sarah Boone knows anything about these people. This was a very odd filing, and they sent it directly. Remember when Nesto sent the letter to Shay Alexander at the clerk of court's office? This person sent it directly. You can see Tiffany Moore Russell, clerk, and it's signed from some family in Bakersfield, California. Who is Tiffany Moore Russell? This is Tiffany Moore Russell. Okay. Just like Shay Alexander, Tiffany Moore Russell holds the seat for the clerk of courts in Orange County, Florida, right? Okay. So this was, it's filed under her name, but I don't know that this is considered an official filing. I'm sure the judge probably will address it, but this is because it has Sarah's name on it. I think the judge might address it, but I think first they're going to ask, like, did you file this? Because if this was filed in her name and it's not really from her, I mean, I don't know that they need to do any official court business on it, but it's coming from Sarah. It's got her inmate number, it's got her information. They're citing that this is a motion date of August 22nd. There are a bunch of weirdos following Sarah, almost kind of like in the way of Wade Wilson. So anyway, they sent it to Superior Court. They filed it in a particular format. So they're talking about the restraints placed on 2/25/2020 once in jeopardy on April 13th, 2020. And basically what they're saying is it's a motion to dismiss case and charge with constitutional authority. I don't know where they got this from. Authority, the Constitution of the United States, Amendment 6. Girl. Okay. Authority, the Constitution of the U.S., Amendment 6, specifically the right to a speedy trial has been violated. I went back to Sarah's initial filings. I like her first appearance. I went all the way back. At the time that she was charged with second-degree murder, we were right in the middle of COVID. Everything was shutting down. I don't know. Right here, June 24th, if you can see this, February 27th, 2020, she had her first appearance, put in a not guilty, and request for a jury trial. This woman has had 8 attorneys since then, okay? There is no way that she can complain that her right to a speedy trial has been violated because, ma'am, you have gotten rid of more than a few attorneys, and it's just no way. It's no way. It's ridiculous. So they're saying that her right to a speedy trial has been violated. It really hasn't. She has delayed, not to mention, let's just talk about when she went pro se. She asked for more time. She asked for time credited back to her because she wasn't sure that she was going to have enough time to prepare. Secret Be Sweet, happy birthday. Happy birthday to our sis. Happy birthday. You can't ask for more. You can't say that your right to speedy trial has been violated when you're asking for more time, right? Because you're prolonging the time. Also, on top of this, this was not written by her. This was sent by someone in Bakersfield, California. There has not been any entry of any attorney by the name of Raymond or Crystal Bryson, Bryson. These people might have just wanted to be in the blogs, okay? The state of Florida has not met the requirement or proven good cause of delays. A majority of the delays, number one, we were in a COVID pandemic. And secondly, ma'am has ran off numerous lawyers. And I think they meant ineffective, but it says ineffective, but it's not even, I don't know what they mean by that, but I don't believe that that's this is appropriate right here. Ineffective, substandard state provided attorney should have made this request long ago, proving this as a fact. So the state of Florida has not met requirements or proven good cause of delays. Well, the judge put in a 16-page document illustrating the delays, and that's why she's now currently pro se. So I don't know. This person came from out of the bushes, filed this in Sarah's name, sent a copy of the Bill of Rights, and it's weird. So I don't know. A lot of people were talking about it last night. My opinion on it, it's strange, but there's a lot of strange stuff that's been happening with her case, so this doesn't surprise me. Okay, moving on. Um, this is also interesting, and I thought you guys might have an interest in. If we could get one of these for Nesto, this would be awesome. And that is the the inmate behavior report, which is pretty interesting. Um, so these are getting published about once a week, and we should be getting one pretty soon, I would think. So this is really designed to kind of keep a track of when she is checking in and out the computer. But this must already just be a system that they have in place to document. And based on this, now they're documenting when she's getting the laptop and her materials. They're documenting when she's getting her laptop and materials, but they're also documenting things like, for instance, on 8/8, inmate received laptop at 18:50 at 18:15 hours, right? Can you see that? Okay. You can see some vital information. I spoke with inmate Boone about the items in her property. Inmate Boone stated that she has everything she needed to properly represent herself. This entry is for informational purposes. On 8/8, inmate Boone returned laptop, thumb drive, hard drive to the officer at 14:25. Items was returned to the control room. Following later in the afternoon, inmate Boone turned in a request from attached with a letter to Captain D. Giovanni. We read that letter like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and then they had the hearing about it. Corporal Don Pat received the letter and gave it to Sergeant DeJesus. Due to Captain Giovanni not being here, it will be given to her upon her return. Inmate Boone was made aware, informational purposes. Okay. Christina King, this is one of the COs. Sarah Boone received 3 USBs, the laptop, a box with discovery paperwork. Inmate, so at 9 on the same date later in the afternoon. So look, she's getting her computer. Look at this. She sat up there and begged for the computer to have it all day. She's over here getting the computer it's logged in at 9 o'clock, at 12 o'clock. I don't know if that's what time she's getting it, but that's what time it's logged in. At 4:22, they're logging it in that she gave it back. 8 o'clock in the morning, which is when she's supposed to be able to come pick it up, received her laptop. 9:30, inmate Boone exit. So she had to exit for an interview. At 8:59, inmate Boone exit for an interview. Inmate Boone return all USB cord laptop, 4 p.m. Inmate refused breakfast on the 11th. Why? I don't know. She's received the laptop, returned the USB cord. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. And then we get to, is that the right one? 4 pages. Okay. That's that one. Then there's this one. This one was a little bit strange. Okay. So here we go. On the 13th, and those of you who don't know who Sarah Boone is, she's known as Suitcase Sarah. Sarah convinced her boyfriend some kind of way to get into a damn suitcase, and she was pissy drunk. And I mean, we can watch it if you want to. If some of you guys have not seen it, she recorded it on her phone. And Florida, the good state of Florida, they don't mind putting anything out. And you can hear him in the suitcase, Sarah, let me out. And she's like, don't, what'd she say? That's my name. Don't wear it out. And what? I mean, she was just drunk talking. She was drunk talking, and then it's on some, that's my name, don't wear it out. That's how you make me feel. Sarah, I can't breathe. Yeah, anything, look, I'm gonna just be honest, anything that we talk about on this channel, probably anything I talk about, period, is going to have a certain degree of trigger warning. So just be forewarned and forearmed. Whenever you click in over here, we're probably talking about some true crime shenanigans on varying different degrees. What triggers one does not trigger another. But just this is always going to be on some true crime adult conversation. So just be forewarned and forearmed. We talks about it all. She's the crazy suitcase murderer. Yes, she really is. She's a nut job. And I wish this would stop alerting me. I don't need to be alerted anymore. Thank you. Okay. All right, let me turn my phone off. I'm just going to turn it off right now because it's bothering me. Okay. iPhone. Okay. Now the other one's going to ring. Okay. So 8:13, inmate Boone returned from unit from attorney interview. So when they said interview, it probably, and I don't think it was attorney. I think it was the guy from Prison Break investigations. So she just got back from an interview. Then she comes back. She turns in her laptop in the afternoon. Then she has her hard drive returned back. Inmate refused due to her going to court. Okay, so she was supposed to get her laptop, and I guess they offered it to her, and she refused it because she's going to be at court that day. Inmate Boone was advised not to wear her altered inmate blue uniform to downtown court. And I don't know how she got a altered uniform. So listen to this. While inmate Boone appeared for her scheduled court appearance, it was discovered by CRSO Jones that Boone had altered her county issued blues with staples. Well, I guess you meant to say along the seam of her pants. Inmate Boone was counseled for this negative behavior and informed that her blues were considered contraband and issued more blues. So it's like, why are you altering your uniform? Does that make sense? Unless you're going to take your staples out and scratch somebody's eyes out. What are you doing? And are you tapering your pants? Like, sis, it's not a fashion show. Inmate Boone was given 2 property bags to secure her discovery documents. Inmate Boone was also given several manila envelopes. Inmate Boone's laptop was available. Inmate Boone's laptop was available and provided to her at 2000 hours. Informational purposes. Inmate Boone returned laptop. Inmate Boone. So 2 hours later. Okay, so she had to because time was up. Okay. Inmate Boone, discovery hard drive issued to Boone, 8 o'clock. At 1948 hours, Boone, Sarah notified the staff that she was not sure that she was going to use the laptop because she is unable to get internet. Inmate Boone stated that she will get she will let staff know when she is ready to use the laptop. At 2100 hours, inmate Boone approached staff and requested the use of the laptop. She is officially annoying. So at 1948, she gives it back and says she's not sure if she's going to use it. So basically, like an hour and 20 minutes later, she comes back and tells the staff she wants it. Sis is nuts. The laptop was provided to inmate Boone. So they're not going to tell her no. She has use of it during a specific amount of time. Um, so I'm sure they're not going to tell her no. So she refused food again. On the 16th, she refused her breakfast tray. Friday the 16th, 7:30. I informed inmate Boone that the laptop will be made available to her to utilize from 800 to 1600. Approximately 7:42 hours, the laptop arrived. Then she gets on Friday the 16th, inmate Boone requested an extra small uniform shirt verbally. Also inmate request form. Inmate Boone complains that the small uniform shirt issued to her has an improper fit. It's too big. Inmate Boone complains the small uniform shirts are revealing. I contacted Uniform Supply and was informed that the smallest uniform shirt is a small. Inmate Boone requests to receive an extra small shirt prior to her meeting on Saturday the 17th. Can you believe this crackpot weirdo is bothering people about her shirt being too big or being too small? She says her shirt is too big and it's revealing. Then she asked for a devotional. Inmate Boone requested extra. Okay. Devotional book was given. Inmate Boone requested a small. So here we go. Another day. So later that evening, 7 p.m., inmate Boone requested smaller inmate uniform top due to meeting schedule for her case. I asked inmate Boone what size top did she currently have on, and she informed me a small. I informed inmate Boone that size small was the smallest inmate uniform top the FDC had to offer. Inmate Boone requested that I look for her for a different small that may fit smaller than the small that she is wearing. I informed inmate Boone that I would not look for her a small and smaller, a smaller small. She was informed to wear a t-shirt or a thermal under her top if she felt that it was too big and might show too much. Is someone coming for Sarah in the jail? Do you think she feels like her top is revealing and it's showing too much of her tatas, and she could be turning on some of the sisses that like looking at breasts? Does she feel like she is enticing some of the ladies who might be into breasts? And she doesn't want to give a free show to the sisters in the cell block who may have an interest in her. So she wants to cover all her boobs. Okay. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, all right. So at 9:48 p.m. on the 16th, inmate Boone returned the laptop, the Discovery hard drive. I informed inmate Boone that she still had till 2300 hours to utilize it. She said she needed a mental break and would not like to utilize it. This entry was for informational purposes only. On Saturday the 17th, inmate Boone requested a shower at 800 hours due to a meeting conducted on today. Inmate Boone was afforded the opportunity to shower at 7:18. Saturday the 17th, hours, I informed inmate Boone the laptop, USB drive, and hard drive would be available for her usage. Do you imagine I got to tell her this damn every single day? How annoying. I think the only time that she has to take a break is during lunchtime. Inmate Boone, so they told her at 7:30 she would have the laptop. 8 o'clock, they gave her the laptop. Inmate Boone, um, At 3 o'clock, inmate Boone was on an interview with a professional visitor. The visitor informed staff that he had legal mail for inmate Boone. Sergeant Dunn, Corporal Hall. I searched inmate Boone property. During the search, the following items were amongst her legal mail: paper clips, staples, clear Ziploc bags, one written tablet with staples attached. During the search, inmate Boone became argumentative and questioning staff why her property was being searched. I explained to inmate Boone that she is subject to search at any time. Inmate was not receptive. She's a problem. She's definitely a problem. Um Inmate Boone was issued her laptop 8:44 p.m. delivered late due to staff shortage. Um 10 p.m. 6 a.m. she refused her breakfast. Maybe if she would eat, her shirts would fit better. On Sunday the 18th, I informed Boone the laptop would be made available. Um, on the 18th at approximately 800 hours, I issued the laptop. Approximately 8:10, I was informed by inmate Boone that the issued laptop was not charged. It's like, would you go sit down? Sergeant Y. Dunn was notified and responded with a charger. Here's the charger. At approximately 900 hours, the laptop began charging. Inmate Boone was notified. At approximately 10:15, I issued one laptop and USB drive, Discovery hard drives. The 3 USB drives, the Discovery hard drive was secured in a plastic bag together. Approximately 10:45 hours, inmate Boone turned in a request. The request referenced receiving an ink pen and paper from staff. Sergeant Dunn was notified and retrieved inmate Boone request form, returned to B dorm, inmate pens for inmate Boone to utilize approximately, I hate that word utilize. I don't know why, it just bothers me. At approximately 10:59 hours, I issued 2 inmate pens to inmate Boone. Um, Sergeant Dunn informed that she issued inmate Boone legal paper yesterday. At approximately 11:04, I was informed that inmate Boone laptop was charging at 52%. Damn, 2 hours later, clearly it's not a fast charger. As the dorm officer, I am aware that inmate Boone is to receive a laptop per a set schedule. I am also aware that she tends to free, use it frequently. However, I noticed today that she did not ask for it since my arrival to the shift. I then asked if she would like to utilize her laptop privileges, to which she stated, "Yes, I been wanted to use it, but you didn't ask me. I was told that you guys are to ask me if I want to use it, and I am not to ask any questions." Oops. It should be noted that inmate Boone has been briefed by staff. There's some typographical errors in here. Briefed by staff regarding her laptop usage. She first received she first received it and is also asked the dorm officer for it if she would like to use it. Again, she did not notify me that she would like to use it at any time since my arrival to shift. She received the laptop, and maybe Captain or Corporal Ward was notified. Moments later, while I was conducting a visual inspection, she stated to me that the laptop was low on battery, to which I looked and confirmed it was. Inmate Boone then requested OP60 statement form stating this would be the third day in a row that it's been given to me with a dead battery. It's supposed to be charged. May I have the statement form that they give you guys to document when I don't use my laptop. I want to write about the laptop consistently being dead. She was given the form and the laptop was placed on the charger. This entry is for documentation purposes only. She is she's really a pain in the ass. Okay. Then on the 19th, here we go. Inmate Boo is currently pro se and is allowed a laptop per scheduled hours of the day. Inmate Boone is currently pro se and is allowed the laptop per scheduled hours. The laptop had a low battery. This is again? What? Not again, again? Uh-oh. Someone's getting ready to get in trouble. Okay. The laptop had a low battery and needed to be charged. An entry was made hours ago by this officer regarding the battery and also inmate Boone requesting an OP60 form. While collecting the form, inmate Boone, I informed her that the laptop was low, is now charged, and should be ready for use in this morning. I also told her that I will make the day shift officer aware that the laptop is to be charged once she is finished with it so she can utilize it during the night shift. Inmate Boone was then stated, Miss Ford, I will take the form back. I didn't really want to turn it in. It's okay. I will keep it in my documents. Just please let the officers know that it was not charged. I can't do anything without it. I gave her the form back and Sergeant Moreno was notified. This entry is for documentation purposes. Don't try to go and fill out a form on me and then tell me you're not going to turn it in and kind of use it, because obviously if that's their job, they know how important this case is and this woman is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You can't really mess with her like that. You know what I mean? So they have to do, she's the type of person you got to do everything to the T. If you don't do it to the T, sis is going to fill out her Karen documents and she's going to snitch and tell everything, right? Then I guess she was mad because look what she did. Girl, she refused breakfast again. She refused breakfast, girl, and Shahada Ford was like, sis, I'll just mark it down. You refuse breakfast again, okay? Anyway, Sarah Boone and her antics. I feel like they should be uploading us another I am at was it incident management. Uh let's see if there's anything else. Order setting hearing. There is the whole thing going on with attorney's fees right now. I the thing that I understand about the attorney's fees is that Florida has a administrator called the JAC, and they administer like the public funds that go to these public defenders and things like that, and monies that prisoners are allowed to have to fight their case. So the public defenders, expenses, things of that nature. And there's a few lawyers that have not yet been paid and they are filing their motions for payment. But I don't really want to get into that because I'm going to be honest, I don't know enough about it to really discuss it. I did review it. But basically to me, it looks like everyone's trying to get paid. Like they worked on the case, they have not got their payment. They are private attorneys that were working, taking public defender type cases, and they haven't been paid yet. The last four attorneys, I believe, and they're looking for payment. So that's also something that's going on. But anything else that's going on right now? There is a hearing that's set for 9/26, which is when that's like a month from now. So Sarah should be busy working. Um, this particular motion that was received is not from Sarah. It doesn't appear to be, even though it has her name on it. It's not from any attorney that has entered, filed a motion for entry as an attorney or been hired by Sarah. So I don't know that this is something that the judge has to address at all because it seems bogus. Something that I missed on an earlier report. Let me see this one. There was a situation where someone showed up to the jail. Yeah, I guess I missed this one. Hold on, let me show you guys this. Okay. Um did I maybe I missed this one. That's weird. Okay. Anyway, okay, so this right here, I feel like we must have scrolled past this page. Let me make it big. Okay. So when they started recording this 8-5, she got her I guess they must mean devotional here. Okay, up top, devotional. So she got a devotional. 8-6, she got her thumb drive. Turned it back in. 8-7, she refused breakfast. Seems like she refuses breakfast pretty regularly. So 8-7 was called out for an attorney visit. So catch this. So at I don't know if these times are correct or not, but it says inmate Sarah Boone was called out for an attorney visit in FDC B dorm. Inmate Boone stated, "I don't have an attorney. I had too many random people coming to see me because of my case. I took the paperwork from the attorney and delivered the paperwork to inmate Boone." So inmate Boone had a guest and she turned the guest down. She said she's had too many weird people or random people and she refused the guest. Later, this is what she says. Inmate Boone was advised approximately 21:59 hours that she had an attorney visit. Inmate Boone requested, this is the following day. Inmate Boone requested to know who the attorney was, being that she has no attorney assigned to her. Inmate Boone stated that she does not feel comfortable visiting anyone that she doesn't know because crazy people have been reaching out and scheduling visits with her claiming to be someone they are not. Inmate Boone was notified the attorney's name as James Wazowski. However, due to inmate Boone's attorney's departure, she began to remember who he was and became upset. Inmate Boone mentioned that she has met with him previously and that he traveled from Tallahassee just to meet with her. Tallahassee is further north, right? It was explained to inmate Boone that we are not responsible for his departure. She was notified of his presence, and her delay in response resulted in his departure. Sergeant Moreno was made aware of this information. Do you imagine, Sergeant Moreno, you got other people on the dorm, but every day you got a damn Sarah Boone incident to talk about? It seems like every day she got something. Okay, so when we started reading before I skipped a page, so that was my bad. Can you believe that? So the next one, we don't have another one yet, but we should be getting one. It seems like they do them for about a week at a time. So this is like the second, well, this will be the third week. So yeah, she had a guest. I guess they get real guests. I guess they don't have to maybe they talk behind a glass or in a room. But I think she was told she had a lawyer visit. So that was a problem. Okay. Let's see. Girl, they can't do that. They cannot. So she hasn't sent a letter. She hasn't sent a motion. Maybe we'll see some action this week. I don't know, but the notice for hearing that's on here, I think is for attorney fees. Yeah, there's nothing really going on with this case right now. This is also to give you guys an update. I am going to post some stuff. I'm not going to lie, I was pretty overwhelmed. I did get a call. I got a couple of files from Orange County regarding Stefan Starnes. And this one interview is one that I don't think I've heard anyone else have posted yet. But I mean, they just might not have gotten through all of these files. Like it's a ton of files. Um, it's it's got to be almost 1,000 pictures. Like it's a so let's just say they go to a crime scene and they take like 500 pictures in the house. That's what's in the file. Like all the pictures, like the bedrooms, the living room, the setup, um, you know, pictures outside, um, things like that. Um, then there's a lot of body worn camera footage. And then there's the interviews on the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th. There was an interview where they got a little aggressive with Stefan Starnes because it was on some, but wait a second, didn't you just say that? And but wait a second, you just told us that you were driving down the street to this. Why would you turn around and do that? Let me see if I can pull it up. Girl, it was definitely giving a Frandrew, and it was like, sir, you are busted. I mean, it's just no ways around it, sir. You're busted. And they're not playing with you. Let me see if I can find the one. Oh, and this is the 911 call. Wait, let me see. That's the 911. I wasn't ready to show this to you guys yet because when I was like, damn, this is a lot of stuff to go through. Okay. Okay. Let me This is what I'm gonna do. I never understand why some cases are second degree. I know. I guess the best thing to do would look up what does second degree murder mean in Florida. Like look up the law to apply it to what we know are the facts about the case, right? So it's 782. Let's do that real quick. That's a great question because we're just a bunch of lay people right now trying to figure this out. So it's all right, Florida statute. Okay, Florida statute 78204. Do you see what they charged her with right there? 78204 2. Florida 782.042 states that an unlawful killing of a person by an act that is dangerous to others and shows a depraved mind is considered second degree murder. First degree felony that can result in a prison that can this is a first degree felony that can result in a prison sentence up to life in prison. To convict someone of attempted second degree murder, the prosecutor must prove the defendant intentionally performed an act that could have killed someone. So let's just say this. First degree, let's say this. First degree, I came to your house and put my and intended to take you out, right? So that's a premeditated first degree. I think a second degree, the way I'm understanding it, let's say I was reckless driving. I was knowingly driving like a complete fool and threatening you simultaneously, like you felt scared. I made you feel scared. So I'm engaging in something that's life threatening, hazardous, and I'm doing it all to scare you. And guess what? It happens. That is, a loss of a life occurs. That sounds like, so you're doing something that's reckless. It's of a depraved mind. It's dangerous. It's not necessarily that it's an act to kill someone. It's an act that could kill someone. Um, because so I think it's a difference between basically someone coming to just take you out or someone intentionally planning to take you out versus a dangerous act. Let's just say, a couple is, let's say Sonia and Nesto are in the bed and Sonia wants to be choked. You following me? Unless he planned to do it with malice and it was a result of, let's say, a sex act, that might not even be the same thing, but let's just say he did it with a depraved mind and it's a dangerous act and took her out. That could be something like I don't know. I can't answer that. You know what I mean? The way I'm reading it, it says an unlawful killing of a person by an act that is dangerous to others and shows a depraved mind and is considered second degree. Um, it is a first degree felony that can result in prison. So it's considered a first degree felony, second second degree murder, but it was an act. I don't think so. Let's look at it this way. I don't know that it's like a secondary, like murder's murder. I think it's just a degree of murder where maybe it wasn't set out to be a murder, or maybe it was set out to be a murder, but the act of it isn't overt. She pulled out a gun and shot him. Maybe it's not because it's not an overt act. But that's, you know what I mean? That's just my interpretation. I don't know if that's what it is or not. I don't think that was the first time that she zipped him up in that suitcase. She just didn't let him out this time. So they didn't think she intended to kill him. I don't know if she didn't. I don't know if that's what they think, but the act is a dangerous act that resulted in his homicide. I don't know that they have to prove, if they are trying to prove intent, that's where you get into that thing of overcharging people and they walk because you charge the case wrong. If you have to prove her intent based on her story and based on the way things were planned out, if you not planned out or laid out or were presented when they showed up, they would have to prove that she has intentionally been trying to kill him the whole time. You see what I'm saying? And this was part of her master plan to take him out. Um, I don't know that there's any evidence of that, even though it wasn't the first time. They're charging her on this time. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you guys are wrong to feel how you feel or think what you think. I'm just saying that it just seems like when we see people get the charges that the community think that they should get, because second degree sounds like it's not serious. It sounds like it's a backseat murder. It's not as important. Like it was second degree. Like second degree isn't valid or something. I think people feel a way when they hear like manslaughter or something like that versus um murder. Okay, I'll let you guys see it in just a second. I think people feel like that the charging has to that it's but they have to charge it for what they're able to approve, what they're able to prove and what they can prosecute. If they gave everybody murder, depending on the the situation of the murder, they have to charge it manslaughter, second degree, first degree intentional, all of those things. There's different stipulations because once they get in that courtroom, it's like very specific. And if you've been listening to some of these jury verdicts, and when they give them a very like, this is what we want you to decide on, this is the question, and you've heard all of the evidence based on this set of questions, this one or two, what do you rule? So if they overcharge and they're not able to prove intent, or they're not able to prove planning, or they're not able to prove this, that, and the third, you got somebody walking. You know what I mean? So, and during the trial, they can always add charges. If all of a sudden, in the middle of the say this is going on, right? All of a sudden, somebody comes from out the bushes and says, she been planning this the whole time. We just found her journal. This was part of a master plan. I don't know what the process is in adding charges, but I think that they are still able to add. I don't know that you can change or subtract. I'm not sure. So anyway, okay, let me find what's going on here. It's the body cam. I tried to get a raw version of her body cam. I'm going to do another request. I feel like when I requested her body cam footage, even though it's all over YouTube, people have it watermarked and all types of shit. So let's see. I think they have it on Law and Crime though. So we'll go to Law and Crime. Give me just a second. Let me find it. So you want to see George suitcase murder, Sarah. It's the. Are they going to show part of? Let's see. Is Vinny going to talk during this? Hold on. Okay. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen this, just to give you a warning, this is the situation that resulted in a death. What you're going to see, it's more disturbing at what you don't see versus what you're going to hear, because it's kind of like, wow, he's really in this suitcase. Let me just make sure I can find a better. Jorge Torres, Sarah. And his name is Jorge, but I think he was going by George, like the American pronunciation. So just know that he goes by George. Okay. Okay, here we go. If you haven't seen this is what Sarah Boone is sitting in jail for. And I believe this happened in February of 2020, something like that. She's pissy ass drunk. Not to say that this gives any excuses, but you can hear when she's talking is like, it doesn't give her an excuse, because she could have made a different choice.
Sarah. For everything you've done to me. Sarah. For everything you've done to me. Sarah. Fuck you. Sarah. Fuck you. Sarah. Stupid. Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up. Sarah. I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously. Yeah, that's when you choke me. Sarah. 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 Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. That's on you. Sarah, I can't breathe. It's on you. Sarah. Real or ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this. Sarah. Real or ransom. Sarah. Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Oh. That's what Sarah. I feel like when you ching on me. Sarah. Fuck you. Breathe, Sarah. Yeah. You should probably shut the fuck up. Sarah. Shh.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just read this to you. Y'all can't see this yet. Y'all won't be able to see that. Okay. Ooh. So this is the arrest affidavit, okay? The arrest definitely look, when she said, what did she say? This is what you do when you so they had a history of DV on both sides. She's definitely a monster. Okay, listen to this. Background. On February 24th, 2020 at 1301, Orange County deputies responded to 4748 France Lane, where Francoise happened, number 3 in Winter Park, Florida, in reference to a female reporting that her boyfriend, Jorge Torres Jr., was deceased. The caller, later identified as Sarah Boone, reported playing a game of hide and seek, and Sarah and George jokingly thought it would be funny if George got in a suitcase located in the living room. Sarah zipped George into the suitcase. Sarah mentioned that she and George had been consuming alcohol during the night, and then she went upstairs and passed out in her bed. She later woke up to her cell phone ringing multiple times at 1100 hours. She went downstairs and did not see George anywhere in the apartment. That she then realized that he was possibly still in the suitcase. When Sarah, I don't believe that for a second. You left him in the suitcase. You come downstairs. You don't see him anywhere. Wouldn't you just touch the suitcase and think like, I know you're not still in there. So you went downstairs and did not see George anywhere in the apartment. She then realized he possibly was still in the suitcase. Sarah unzipped the suitcase and found George unresponsive and not breathing. It was the suitcase where you left it. If the suitcase is where you left it and it's still zipped, he didn't get out. Sarah unzipped the suitcase and found George unresponsive and not breathing. Shortly after the 911 call, which I think she called her husband first. Not her husband, but she called her ex-husband first. And he said, hang up and call 911. Like, he just basically was like, bye, call 911. Shortly after the 911 call, deputies arrive on the scene. Orange County Fire Department confirmed that George was in fact deceased at 1307. The decedent was found laying near the front door of the residence near a blue suitcase. A small laceration was evident on the decedent's lips and what appeared to be some bruising around his eyes. Interview Sarah Boone, February 24, 2020, 1657. Detective Scott Lowen and I conducted an audio recorded interview with Sarah located in my unmarked agency vehicle outside the residence at 4748. The following is a synopsis of Sarah's sworn recorded testimony. I read verbatim to Sarah her constitutional Miranda warning. Sarah agreed she understood what I had just read her. On February 23rd, at approximately 1600 hours, Sarah was located at the residence along with boyfriend Jorge Torres, who also resided in the apartment. Only Sarah and George were located in the residence. Sarah's son, Lucas Boone, would sometimes be at her residence when it was her days per the custody agreement she has with her ex-husband. Sarah said her and George were painting pictures and completing a puzzle while sharing a bottle of Woodbridge Chardonnay. As the evening went on, Sarah said her and George decided to play a game called hide and seek. Sarah hid upstairs in the shower first, and George never came to look for her. Girl, I heard on George's Facebook page, which I could not seem to figure out which one is his because there's a lot of Jorge Torres's. I guess I need to try Winter Park, Florida. I'll do that. I feel like I did that already, but anyway, I heard, and this you guys may have already seen this on George's Facebook page. He was like an avid Facebooker. He basically, on the day that he passed away, had something like, when you're too old to play hide and seek, babe, come out, or it's babe, stop playing, something like that. He posted something to that effect, like his last Facebook post. Okay. Sarah hid upstairs in the shower first and said George never came to look for her. That's because he probably didn't want to play. After a while, she decided to go downstairs and she found George. George didn't want to play. Sarah and George both thought it would be funny. This is according to her, right? Because keep in mind, she's going to be in hot water. You're sitting in the detective car making a statement. Understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is her narrative. I don't think she's a reliable narrator. I don't know that George thought it would be funny to zip up in a suitcase when he didn't find it amusing to go find her in a shower. Okay. If he didn't come looking for you at the shower, what makes you think that he thought it would be funny to zip up in the damn suitcase? Sarah and George thought it would be funny if she zipped George in the blue suitcase that was located downstairs in the living room area that had a few miscellaneous items they had both planned to donate. George willingly got into the suitcase and Sarah zipped the suitcase up, but two of George's fingers were able to stick out of the suitcase. Sarah and George were both laughing that she zipped him in the suitcase. Sarah explained the attached handle made it easier to zip and the suitcase was broken, but a paper clip was in the zipper and she was able to zip the suitcase up. On February 24th, 2020, at approximately 030 hours, Sarah decided she was going to go upstairs while George was still located in. Would you relax? Oh my God, UPS. Where am I? Okay. She decided she was going to go upstairs while George was still located in the suitcase, thinking he could get himself out. Sarah laid down in her bed and fell asleep approximately 20 to 30 minutes after going upstairs. Sarah assumed George was going to get out of the suitcase and come to bed as well. Sarah said neither her nor George were drunk from wine. So she can't use the I was drunk excuse. I didn't know what was going on, even though clearly it sounds like she was drunk. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having to talk over the dogs. She can't use, I think clearly she was drunk, but being drunk doesn't excuse you from committing a murder, right? So that's not a defense, being drunk, right? Sarah said neither her or George were drunk from wine. I don't know why she said that because clearly she's drunk. Sarah woke up in the morning and heard her cell phone ringing multiple times but ignored the calls. Sarah said her cell phone was left downstairs from the night prior. Sarah woke up in the morning and heard her cell phone ringing multiple times but ignored the calls. Sarah said her cell phone was left downstairs from the night prior. Sarah knew her ex-husband, Brian Boone, was calling because he's the only person who would call her repeatedly to see if she was getting their son. The sad thing is that you'll hear from her husband, her ex-husband rather, stating that she is a trifling ass mom. She's the type of mom that's not reliable. She's basically a deadbeat. She's the type that the boy will be sitting there waiting for mom to come pick him up and not show up. She's the type that didn't show up to school, and she's a drunk. Okay, so call her repeatedly. She was getting their son, Lucas Boone, from school. Sarah said she stayed upstairs for a while and assumed George was downstairs on the laptop looking for employment. Sarah said she went downstairs at approximately 11 o'clock and realized that she could not find George anywhere in the apartment. Sarah freaked out and remembered the last time she saw George was when she zipped him in the suitcase. Sarah unzipped the suitcase and found George unresponsive. I just feel like that story doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think that that's how it happened. Sarah called Brian back, told him George was dead, and begged him to come to her residence. Brian resides only a few minutes away. When Brian got to the residence, he walked into the apartment, saw George unresponsive on the floor, and told Sarah she needed to call 911. Brian then immediately walked outside and stayed there until law enforcement arrived, while Sarah followed the instructions from 911. According to Brian Boone, she called him. Hi, Amazing Grace. According to Sarah's ex-husband, she called him. Brian then immediately walked outside and stayed there until law enforcement arrived, and Sarah followed the instructions of the 911 operator. Sarah Boone's iPhone, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I had to take a sip of water. Sarah Boone's iPhone XS on February 24th, 2020. Sarah gave verbal and written consent by signing a waiver of affidavits form for the Orange County Sheriff's Department to search her iPhone. Digital forensic investigator Wanella Udon responded to the scene and began to download the cell phone. While the cell phone was being downloaded, 2 videos were found in the cell phone. The first video began on February 24th, 2020. George repeatedly yelling out Sarah's name. Sarah told George, "For everything you've done to me, fuck you." Sarah was laughing when she said, "Fuck you, stupid." George repeatedly kept calling out Sarah's name. George said, "I can't fucking breathe. Seriously." Sarah replied, "Yeah, that's what you do when you choke me." George continued to repeat himself, telling Sarah he could not breathe. Sarah replied, "That's on you." "Oh, that's what I feel like when you cheat on me," Sarah said. You should probably shut the fuck up." In this video, the suitcase was facing forward, and you can see George pushing on the suitcase in attempt to get out. The video is a 2-minute video and 3 seconds long. The second video began at 2020, George yelling out Sarah's name. The suitcase is now in a different position, facing upwards, and moved over towards the left side of the living room. The video is 22 seconds long. Synopsis of Jorge Torres's autopsy on February 25th. George is received an autopsy located at the medical examiner's office. During the autopsy, it was noticed that George had injuries. George had long nail scratches on his upper back, a large nail scratch from the back of his neck, contusions to his left shoulder, left skull, forehead contusions, considered blunt force trauma, and a cut near his busted lip. Follow-up interview with Sarah on February 25th at approximately 1500 hours. Sarah drove herself to Orange County office located at 2500 Colonial Drive. Detective Scott Lowen and I conducted an audio video recorded interview with Sarah. The following is a synopsis of Sarah's sworn recorded statement. I read verbatim Sarah her constitutional Miranda. Sarah agreed she understood. After after informing Sarah about the injuries to George's body, she continued to deny any physical altercation occurred between the two of them. Sarah was shown the approximate 2-minute video and that she recorded on her cell phone. Not even halfway through, Sarah no longer wished to watch the video. Sarah said she did not remember making the two videos. Sarah said the video looked bad. Sarah denied intentionally leaving George in the suitcase. She was asked why she intentionally went upstairs and waited for George to come upstairs and did not check on him or let him out prior to going upstairs. And she replied, I don't know. Sarah contradicted her original statement and began to blame consumption of alcohol. Sarah was informed that she is not free to leave and was under arrest. Deputy Sheriff Lisa DeLeon responded to Central Operations to transport Sarah Boone to BRC. Based off Sarah's inconsistent statements on what occurred and the videos found on Sarah Boone's iPhone, I believe probable cause exists to charge Sarah Boone with second-degree murder. George Torres is dead, and the death was caused by Sarah Boone's criminal act. Sarah zipped George in a suitcase to where he could not get out. George begged Sarah repeatedly, telling her he could not breathe. Sarah left him in the suitcase, therefore proves the unlawful killing of George by Sarah's actions that were eminently dangerous and demonstrated a depraved mind without regard for George's life. So see how we read the law, and they basically also applied the law to this complaint, to this to the affidavit. They took that Florida statute 782 and basically used some of the words in the statute to basically apply it to the situation, and that's how they came up with second degree. But it, the prosecutors could have said, you know what, this is straight up first. We just got a diary, or you know what I'm saying, like we just got something that further, expands this. Let me see what else is in here. I think that's it. This was her warrant. This was her arrest information when they took her in. So anyone who was not familiar, yeah, this is getting ready to go to trial very soon. And you guys have been watching some of the pre-trial. We've been covering that. It's quite interesting. What else do you guys want to see? Let me see how much time we got a little minute. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me find it. You guys are going to be like, what? Okay. There's just so much there's so much on Sarah now. It's first interview. The funny, well, I don't want to say funny thing, but one of the One of the things is when they first arrived on the scene, and she's like, "Oh my God." And she's talking. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, yeah. This did it for me. Hold on. Wait. If you haven't seen this is okay. So you can see EMS is okay. Let's.
You could get all your guys out of there.
What's that?
You could get everything out of
Wrapping
there.
up getting info. You gotta report on the LED and stuff.
Oh yes, thank you.
This police officer, girl, she lets her have it. I mean, she doesn't let her have it, but she's very stern. You're going to get a really good, this video gives you a really good glimpse at the type of woman Sarah is. She's very manipulative. And she's, you know how like a child will ask you 3 times for the same thing, you tell them no, then they come back and they ask you kind of a different way. The manipulation, right? But you know how it's kind of like at a certain sometimes you may just slip up and be like, okay, go get it. Like she's very much giving that. She's annoying. Okay. So here's the lady, she's getting the paperwork. Female, so she's not the patrol officer, but she's probably more like a sergeant or something. She's someone who's coming to take the report because you got the initial patrol officers are there. They were all there securing the scene. And then Sis shows up with the mobile office. She's got all the paperwork. She got her gloves. She's getting ready to take a complete report.
Who pronounced?
Oh, right there.
She wants to know who pronounced.
Did you call it? What time did you call it?
Get a time.
Look at Sarah.
Okay. You live here? Yes. Okay, I'll talk to you. We gotta get some information from the fire department.
The property manager. I don't know if I should go tell him really quick or just so he knows what's going on.
Where is he at?
And you want that way.
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll take care of that for you, okay?
I had a cigarette loop.
I'll get it for you, okay? Wait 1 second, okay?
I really need something to drink.
Okay, well,
I got my Dr. Pepper on the counter.
okay, we'll take care of you. Give me 1 second.
It's
Armand, too.
And I gotta buy you
Put the time that you called.
I wonder if they gave her a drug test because her face looks swollen, which is the sign of the drinking from the night before. But I wonder if they did like Coke or anything else. Because she's craving cigarettes. She wants her Dr. Pepper, which probably has some sort of alcohol in it. They said, according to her neighbors, they were basically some drunks. They were the drunk people that live next door. The people always drunk.
That's the time you called it? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You can't go back inside. What's going on? Who is he to you? Boyfriend?
Yes, for like 3.5 years.
What happened?
He and we drank last night. We had a.
Can you pass this to the around to the FD guys? Stop. They need to sign that for sure.
They're with me, so they're not.
Oh, they're not leaving?
I
Okay.
think I'll walk around.
No. Each of them has to. So this might be a real scene. So each of them has to put their name.
Normally
in
we all I just put everybody.
Yeah, you call it working.
What's going on?
Sorry,
I just got here, so fill me in.
No problem. Like,
Yeah,
he and
I'm
I
sorry.
put a puzzle together. We've been doing some artwork together.
You are putting a puzzle together?
Yes, we have a puzzle that we started in there.
Okay.
We've been doing art, trying to take stuff off the wall to make new art put up there, like having a good time with one another. But we're drinking. We had a bottle of wine last night. Okay.
She said, what happened? What they want to know is, why is he passed out on the floor? They don't need to know about the puzzle. They don't need to know about the artwork. You can fill in the details later. That's how you know this is a lie, because she's trying to set the scene. and she's giving a bunch of useless detail that makes no sense. What happened? We were messing around. He was in a suitcase. We were drunk. I went upstairs. I laid down. I knew he was going to get out. I woke up or I passed out, whatever. She's not even telling what happened. We were doing puzzles.
So then it's like, we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So he gets in the suitcase, okay?
Who is this guy?
That's my ex-husband, my former husband.
How did he live here with you guys?
No, I called him over here.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So then
She literally, when they talked to the ex-husband, he told the police officer, it's like the first inconsistency. She says, I called him over here. I didn't know what to do. Your boyfriend of 3.5 years is dead. You don't know to call 911. She called him because it was like, Brian, come get me out of trouble.
over here.
Here, let's talk in private, okay?
I called you guys. I tried giving you CPR. The problem is I fell asleep.
When did you do CPR?
This morning when I found it.
Before you called?
Yes.
It's 1 o'clock right now.
I tried. I was awake, but I actually got out of the bed at like 12:30ish, whatever. So I came downstairs, and I was like, "Oh, he's in the suitcase still." And that's when I found him, and I took him out. And I tried doing CPR, and then I called him, and then I called you guys.
Did he get here before the fire department got here?
Who?
Your husband or your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay. Where does he live at?
Right down the street.
Okay. So you were playing, and who zipped him up?
I did, but then I fell asleep.
Okay. You're okay. I wasn't here. I'm just trying to figure out what
I
happened.
fell asleep, so I don't know if he suffocated or like had an aneurysm or a heart attack or
What kind of medical conditions does he have?
None that I know of.
Nothing that you know of.
None that
I love the police officers. Like, he fell asleep. What kind of medical conditions does he have? She's so like, she's giving like she's giving like enough of concern to allow her to freak out appropriately, right? Like she's giving her exactly what she needs to really like freak out.
Take any medicine?
No.
And not coming off like too authoritative, like, bitch, I'm getting ready to arrest you, okay?
All we had was a bottle of wine. Literally, just a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Doing puzzle artwork. Then we decided to play hide and seek. That's all that happened.
Okay.
So I don't know if he had a heart attack or what in there. Like, I don't know what happened.
So how long were you doing CPR on him prior to you calling 911? You tried that all morning?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I called him while I was
What
doing
time
CPR.
did you start? Probably give me a rough ballpark. Here, let me fill this deputy in, okay?
Please, may I have my Dr. Pepper? I am so cotton mouth right now.
Ma'am, and you can't talk to him until we get done with this, okay?
Just don't leave, okay, Brian?
Thank you, ma'am.
Well,
Appreciate it. Thank
She just told you don't talk to him, and then you talk to him.
I'll get Lucas.
I know.
Do me a favor. Stand over there by that car. Give me 1 second. Just give us a second, okay?
Somebody else on that call operation.
It's on the counter.
I can't move anything from out of the house.
Like, I'm
Here, I want you to sit down because I don't want you passing out. This is probably a lot for you to deal
I
with,
need
right? Sit.
Ma'am,
I don't.
water. Just water.
I can get you some water, okay? Just I want you not on your feet because I don't want you passing out on me.
Generator call.
I need water.
Okay, I'll get some for you.
You're trying to Charlie, but you're on it.
Hey, how are you? Okay, so you don't live here in this house.
No. I live down in Lake Winata Cove down
Lake
there.
Winata Cove. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of tell me how you came here today, or
Well, I've been calling.
come down here because we got to talk about it.
I've been calling since.
You've been calling your ex-wife or current wife?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Ex-wife. We've
Okay.
been divorced about a year and a half.
About
11:30 is when I started calling to find out because this is supposed to be her day. So, her child.
Okay.
She's generally not very good about always doing it. him
10-4.
drink.
They called back and said
There's
she
a
was
bit of
still there,
a problem
or she came back.
So I was calling to find out if she was going to be getting him or not today.
From school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started calling like 11:30, called every half hour or so, and then
It was back inside the
I
lobby.
finally got a hold of her
I'll
at
call back to you.
12:49. Which is when she told me what was going on and if I'd come over here. So I came over.
She called at 12:45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 12:49.
12:49.
Got over here, told her she need to call 911, get somebody over here, and then basically she said she needed to go outside, have a drink and a cigarette. I walked back out the house because I didn't really want to.
Who called? Did you call or did she call?
Well, I called. She called me back when I was on my way to make sure I was coming over. But I called her
Give me
initially.
1 second, okay?
But I called her initially.
Do you have water in your car by any chance?
I don't think so.
The scene is like so chaotic with the landscaper, with Sarah like, I need some water really bad. Why didn't she ask EMS for it?
Nothing?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so she called, you get over here.
I called her first.
Okay.
Trying to find out if she's going to be at Lucas. That's when she told me everything was going on. I got my stuff together, put the puppy up in this crate. When I was starting to drive over here is when she called me to make sure I was coming. And then I got over here right after
Did you
that.
go inside and see? And then
I walked inside the front. I didn't see the little front tile area.
Come on, step this way.
I saw legs. I just didn't really want to be in there around it. So I told her.
Well, just for the sake of the crime scene, I want to know if I were to find your footprint, it would be because you went this far into the house. So did you actually make into the threshold?
I don't think I ever made it to the carpet. I think it was just in that. I've been over here before.
Right. Yeah.
But no, I don't think I stepped past that tile area.
Okay. So
I touched doorknob. I don't think I touched anything in the kitchen. I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of what you have. Well, sit tight for us. We're going to make a few phone calls, and then we'll go from there. Do you know if he has any medical issues or?
I don't.
Okay, but you've met him before.
I've met him before, yes.
Okay.
Yes. They've got a whole fun history.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You guys have called over here twice.
For the two of them?
Yeah, he's been arrested like 5 times.
Really? Okay, I'm not familiar with. I haven't been here personally. So they have
he's currently on parole because of it. So
because of domestic violence with her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Last time he got pre-trial something or other. He had to go to a domestic violence class.
Okay.
I know he was doing it at a parole officer. Stuff like that. But I mean, like every time she had him arrested, the next day she was trying to get him bailed out of jail. So I don't know what it is.
Oh, she's getting water from the tap. Probably gonna pass out on us. Okay. Well, listen, please do me a I'll make a few phone calls.
I mean,
where's your kid need to be picked up?
Lakeline Elementary.
How soon though?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay.
I don't really move out.
Let me try and get this going for you because I know you need that. Martinez.
I love how this officer is so like, okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Let me go to my mobile office. Let me get some more paperwork. I need a better pen. Okay. All right. She did such a good job. Like look at Sarah.
Let's go ahead and start making the call. Ma'am, could you go ahead and give me his
Why
last
are
name?
you over in the bushes?
Spell it for me. Torres. And his first name? George, Jorge. Jorge.
And you see how it's blacked out right here because George literally was like right there in the door. So I guess whenever her ex-husband walked in, he took a few steps onto the tile area and he probably saw all he needed to see and then went ahead and just backed himself right on out.
Jorge.
Yeah, I like the officer too.
birthday?
She's so calm, but
13,
she
78.
asks like she has such good
And this is the
questions.
boyfriend. Yes.
She's very
How long?
disarming. So she allows Sarah to give full on freak out. But then she does reel her back in a couple of times, but she doesn't allow Sarah to feel threatened at all, even though I do think at this moment Sarah knows that she fucked up. Like she knows, she has to know she fucked up. She can't not.
3.5 years living together that whole time. Yes. Okay. And your last name? Boone. Spell it. Boone. First name? Sarah. Sarah. Birth date? 10/10/77. So you've had a second to kind of collect yourself. Tell it to me again. You guys were playing last night, drinking a bottle of wine,
Putting puzzles together, doing
doing
artwork.
puzzles, artwork.
I had a bottle of wine and then decided to play hide and seek.
Mhm.
So he
What
gets,
time was that? Do you remember?
I mean, I know that I was in bed probably by like what, 12:30?
Okay.
Well, I went upstairs at least and I fell asleep.
Okay.
Forgetting that he was
So
in
you
the
guys were
suitcase.
playing the hide and go seek.
Yes.
And at some point you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep.
Mhm.
I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right where
got
it
in
is.
it. Right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there.
Yes.
Thought it would be funny, a little
It
joke.
was. We both were laughing about it.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep
Where did you fall asleep at?
upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
Okay. And then you came back downstairs
This morning or this
around
afternoon, yes, when I got
ballpark,
up.
what time?
12:30-ish. I was awake, but I totally forgot that he was in the suitcase. He can tell you there's a lot of things that we have been going through. Jobs,
Yeah, he did tell me.
life, all that good stuff. So I just totally
So you
forgot.
began to do CPR on him?
Yes. Yes.
About
And he
what time
gurgled.
this morning
Like he
did you
gurgled.
start doing that CPR?
No, it was the afternoon. It was afternoon because I was awake, but then I finally decided to come downstairs at like 12:30-ish, whatever it is, and I was like, I forgot he was in the suitcase, and he wasn't moving. Nothing was happening, so I unzipped him, took him out, and started doing CPR on him. Mm-hmm. He was on his way over here. I called you when he got here.
Once he got here, you called us?
Yes.
Okay.
And air was coming out, and he was gurgling, but I could just tell by looking at him.
But you knew how to do CPR. You were doing that on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the person that was on the phone with me also, I counted with him doing it.
And he's got no medical? He doesn't take any medication?
I don't know. I don't know medical-wise. I know he doesn't take any medications whatsoever.
Okay.
The only thing, like I said, I don't know if alcohol had something to do with it, but we had a bottle of...
Okay. All right. Cheers. I want you to sit back down.
Well, on top of the fact that she put him in the suitcase or that she zipped it up, the fact that she taunted him, the videos is what got her second degree. If there had been no video, I still think that she would be in jail right now, but she could be on some manslaughter and said, we drank, I was pissy drunk, I passed out. She would still be going to prison, but they wouldn't necessarily be able to prove any intent behind it. The fact that she got these videos and she's taunting him, fuck you, all of the depraved mind about it is why she could be potentially getting life in prison versus maybe 15 to 20, 25 years. This could have been a very easily like a manslaughter type situation, which is equally just as bad, of course. And Jorge Torres still would be gone. But at the end of the day, the fact that she sat up there and videoed it and the things that she said during the video, baby, she's done. She's going for life.
Can I have one more sip of water, please?
Yeah, go.
Denver, 29 Residential, Audible, 1303 Island Bay Drive.
I'll do what I can to get you a cup because I don't want you to have to keep doing that.
Maintenance should have the proper cancel indications for the front door. Right to that first side. The motor unit on the channel.
The cups are like right there.
044 motor
Sit right here. Don't talk to the ex-husband right
Oh,
now.
I won't.
Okay?
I won't. Can I have a cigarette, please?
Ma'am, I can't take anything out of the house.
It's on the back porch.
Nope, all of it. It's secure, okay? I'll try my best to get you what you need, okay? Maybe one of these deputies has a pack from someone, sit down and I'll try and get you what you need, okay?
Just cut, please.
Okay. I don't want you on your feet.
You want cameras?
Yeah.
Where's the place to talk about?
Want to talk over here?
The way she came up to her and was like, "Can I have a cigarette, please? Please, can I have a cigarette?" It's like, if you don't go sit your ass down, I'm waiting for backup. It's silent right now because I guess maybe they're, I don't know. She's got us on pause.
After we got divorced.
It's still Boone. Okay.
Yeah,
And then your first name?
Brian, Brian.
Brian. And your date of birth?
5/27/75.
And your child is in school right now. He's not here with you.
No. He's
Okay.
in school.
He's in school. How old is he?
This will be a fun one. He's 9. He's third
I
grade.
can't even start with how you would explain something like this. Okay. 6th grade, you said?
Third grade.
Third grade.
9.
Third grade. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So sit tight for us. I'm sorry it's so hot. Maybe
Okay.
the middle of that would be a good spot to stand. So we'll take it from there. I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
This poor kid. Do you know this kid? So he was 9 at the time. This is going back 4 years ago. So 13. He's got to be middle school now. Your mom is in jail. Third grade. Elementary school. Fast forward. It's been 4 years now. So he's in what, 7th grade, 8th grade, maybe? Because this is February. So he's in 3rd grade in February. So he might be in 8th grade now. And your mom is Sarah fucking Boone. Your mom is Sarah Boone. Poor kid. I feel so bad for this kid. I would have had to move to a different county. Just because, I mean, like, damn. Your mom's Sarah Boone? The fuck? Well, you know, let me put this something. So she was still getting alimony payments for a while. He has stopped paying his alimony, I guess, a couple years ago. Do you know she's trying to take him to court right now to get back alimony because he's not obligated to pay. According to Florida law, I don't think he's required to pay while she's in jail. And I don't know why he was having to pay her when he had full custody of the kid, and she wasn't like a reliable parent. She was like the least reliable, and that's why he had full custody. So she was basically a bad mom.
Did we get that dog by any chance?
He's sleeping under the.
Oh, poor thing. So your backyard's not fenced. Okay. Because we put him in the backyard and I guess he knew to.
Sorry?
Your dog. We thought the backyard was fenced.
The dogs are outside?
No. We have them contained.
One's deaf and one's blind.
Okay.
That's why I was making sure they were under the table.
Nope, that's yours. So we just wait for us to get the instructions on what to do next. You got some water. Good. Okay.
Can I please just have a cigarette? They're on the back porch.
Not right now. We can't have you go and get anything. Why don't you sit in the shade? You're okay right there? Or maybe a little closer here where the shade is?
still on?
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting up.
So you heard the officer say, "Are you still on?" When you are having an interaction with a citizen, their body worn cameras are supposed to be on at all times. So if they're interacting with you, their cameras are supposed to be on.
Let's hand it to
Oh
them.
no, you're in 24 right now. What in the world?
I'm like, nobody's going up there.
I heard
Some cities, officers keep their body worn cameras on like from start to end of shift. And the ones that don't, it's like as soon as you're having interaction or you have a call, they're immediately turned on.
her silence. I said 220. I was leaving Econ in 50. Just gonna go get me a sub. And then I said, well, I need to go to that.
243, no check, yeah, check.
Am I able? Someone asked, and then he said, wait a minute. My ex-husband, Brian Cassidy.
We can't let you guys communicate right now.
I know this was last week. Asked for one.
You want me to get a cigarette from him and bring it to you?
That's okay.
I could probably do that.
Ask for a lighter. Thank you.
No problem.
I was going to have him arrange childcare.
Okay, good. For the child in school up the street. Okay.
Is my name on there yet?
No, sir, it's not. I need to get her on there too, and him.
Yes.
So they're en route already, probably?
Did anybody call him?
No, you want me to call?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were calling. All right, let me get homicide. All right. Okay, let's see. Hold on, I'm still on. Let me.
So I guess she's calling the homicide detectives to let them know to go ahead and come on. You got a case. Oh, really? So I'm sure somebody is working on some technology to get them a 12 or I'm sure like a 12-hour battery. Look at her, the way she's just sitting there. Hold on, let me move this message. Sarah, you're done, sis.
It's natural. You're nervous. You have your anxiety. You're scared, right?
I don't know how to explain it to you.
It's okay. You don't have to.
I don't know how to. I'm just waiting for whoever, so.
I could tell you this. I'm gonna be here just as long as you are, including my. It'll be a while. I'm welcoming this breeze right now. It's kind of warm. All right, so just bear with us.
I know.
All right.
If you could like give me whatever updates or anything that you know of, that's just how I work, so I know like kind of what.
Well, let me look at my computer. See. We already got a detective on his way. He's on the screen. Okay. No, ella quiere lavarse las manos con Honey, that's my corporal. Let me pick it up.
Yeah, these are the two that end up doing the interrogation. These two right there. Sarah hates her. How can she afford a house? She's completely loco. She was right now. So keep in mind, this is like February 2020. Rona's rolling into town, right? Rona's rolling in. Rona's may already be in Florida at this time. Remember, it was like a slow, like it was Florida, New York. Some people had gone to on vacation, all the things. It was like, so Rona's here. Her and George were both unemployed, so they were both getting unemployment checks, and she was also getting income from her ex-husband. She was getting an alimony check, even though he was primary parent.
Hey, Sarah. You get enough water? No, if you want to stay seated, I don't want you getting lightheaded. So remember I said the detectives were going to come out and talk to you and go from there. You know what I'm saying? They're here. They're going to ask you a few questions and then go from there, okay? All right.
All right, Sarah. My name's Chelsea. My partner, Scott. To my understanding, you reside here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just you?
And George.
Okay.
And I have a 9-year-old. It's 50-50 with Brian, my former husband.
Your former husband. Okay. But you reside here with George, and then your son lives with you, or lives there's 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there was DV on both sides. It was a dysfunctional, toxic relationship. I think both of them were barely functioning alcoholics. Also, just the fact that neither one of them had jobs. They were not gainfully employed. George had gotten fired from Ace Hardware. Why he got fired, I don't know, but he had just gotten fired from a job. He was getting unemployment. As her husband stated, he was on a diversion program, and he was on some sort of probation. I don't even think they were supposed to be living together at that moment. But yeah, there was DV on both sides. She was violent to him, and I guess he was violent to her too. I don't know. I almost feel like no matter what, it would have always been George's fault. But yeah, they were violent to each other.
So from what
Rodriguez
has told me, she explained last night that you guys were drinking a bottle of wine, and around midnight, you decided you guys.
12:30-ish, yeah.
Okay. You guys decided to play hide and seek.
Well, we were playing hide and seek, and then
Was your son home at the time, or
No.
okay?
no, with my
Ex.
with Brian.
Okay.
Decided to play. We're just stupid like that. Like, sure, we were putting puzzles together. We were doing artwork. You can see the puzzle that we finished in there, and then the artwork, and then decided to play hide and seek, just being stupid.
Okay.
So he decided to get in the suitcase. So I thought it would be funny to, and he was laughing about it too, to dip him up in there. I go upstairs and fell asleep. So this morning or this afternoon when I.
You know what? Hide and seek is Sarah's not a reliable narrator. We know she's lying, right? Like we know she's not telling us the complete truth. Hide and seek is like when Stefan Starnes talks about the vape shop or that he and Madeline were supposed to go to McDonald's. Some of these liars hold on to like the core of their alibi story, which is really the core of their alibi story is a lie. We're supposed to go to McDonald's. I was going to the vape shop. None of that has to do anything with the murder. You know what I'm saying? Hide and seek explains why he would be in the suitcase. But if your story is that you were playing hide and go seek and you went to hide in the fucking shower and he never came to get you, doesn't sound like he's playing hide and go seek, does it? I read the narrative earlier. If you're playing hide and seek and it's only two of you playing and the person who you're playing with isn't playing, doesn't sound like you're playing. To me, I don't know, somehow she must have tricked him to get into the suitcase for some, like, hey, let's see if you can fit in this suitcase. I think she tricked him into the suitcase on some, yeah, we're getting ready to throw it away. Wouldn't that be funny? You let me get in. Oh, see how I fit? Let me see if you can fit. And then she zipped him up and let him have it. I think she tricked him into it. Hide and go seek. See how we're all kind of like, but that doesn't make any sense. If you're playing hide and go seek, you're outside behind bushes, you're hiding in closets, you guys are playing and having a good time. How are you gonna play hide and seek in a damn suitcase and you already know where he is? Does that make sense on some hide and seek? You already know where he's hiding. That's not hide and seek. She used some trickery to get him in there and zipped him up and said motherfucker and started cussing him out. So that's just what I think. I just think that you have to look at Sarah as a liar. Let's just say unreliable narrator. And we can't believe everything that she says. And because we can't believe everything she says, you have to pick out the things that make the least amount of sense, which is that damn hide and seek. Hide and seek for me, I don't even hear it anymore because I know it's a lie. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit in. It's a lie. You know what I mean?
I actually got up out of the bed.
Oh my God, I love the friendly officer too.
Really quiet. But then I came downstairs and I'm like, where is he? Like, and then that's when I found him.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay. And then you weren't sure about if you woke up this morning
It was afternoon. I mean, I was
or
awake,
this afternoon.
but I just didn't want to come downstairs. So
Okay.
I just laid in the bed for a little while. And then I eventually came downstairs and was confused about where he was. And then I was like, oh my God, he's in the suitcase still. So I pulled him out.
What would have made sense is I was so drunk and I passed out. Like we did some of this or we did some of that. I was so like I don't know. I don't know what happened. The fact that she has answers for everything, that's where some criminals make mistakes. They got a damn answer for everything. Most of us, when stuff happens traumatic to us, how many of us immediately don't it's like like you don't even know what happened. And then slowly it starts coming back to you because it was traumatic, right? So immediately something happens, you're like, I don't know what happened because it's like a brain rush. And then slowly it's like, okay, we were at a light and then this and then that. And someone said this and that. And it comes back to you, right? How do you know so much when you know so little? That's what I want to know. And that's how to me, that's how you know someone's lying.
And I stretched him out and I started to try to do CPR on him. I called you guys. Well, I called Brian.
Okay.
And then as soon as he got here, which is...
Well, keep in mind, she's going to tell them she wasn't drunk. She's going to tell them she was not drunk. But you can hear in the videos, I mean, sis sounds like she took a bath in some sauce. It wasn't no damn just bottle of wine.
Down the road, I called you guys. Okay. And the person on the phone had me do the concussions continually still and count with him until you guys shut up.
Okay. And so as a part of our investigation, we obviously have to go inside the house. We have to look at things. Are you okay with us going in the house and looking at things?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And forensics, so we have to have our forensics crime scene investigators come out. Are you also okay with them coming inside, taking photographs and? Okay. Okay.
Can I ask, is Brian, or Brian, I'm sorry, George, is he diagnosed with any kind of medical history?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't take drugs. I mean, we'll have the occasional bottle of wine here and there, but I don't know. Like,
that was going to be my next question. So you guys don't normally drink? You just drink once in a while, or?
Well, I'm going to say, like, okay, I guess normal drinking is, like, we will have, like, a glass of wine or two, like, while we're cooking dinner, and we'll play a board game with him. I mean, little games in there. But, I mean, it's not.
When they end up interviewing everybody, the husband just said she's got a little bit of a drinking problem. Like, she's a drunk. She is a legit drunk.
Like,
A couple of beers a day?
well, but I don't.
A couple of beers a day. That's
Like, I don't understand though. Like,
everybody doesn't have a couple of beers a day.
Like, not had anything to do with it. Like, I don't know if he had a heart attack or a stroke or an aneurysm or what happened to him. I don't know.
And were you guys together all day yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Here?
Yes.
Like neither of you left the apartment yesterday?
I think he drove up to the convenience store to get cigarettes.
Okay.
But I mean, you can walk there.
Does he have any history of consuming drugs? I know he doesn't now, because you said he doesn't.
I don't know.
As far as you've ever known him, you've never seen him?
No. I mean, he's from Philadelphia, and he grew up in Philadelphia, and then he went to Massachusetts, and then from Massachusetts he came down here. So I don't really know, like, a whole lot of, like, medical history or anything.
How long have you guys been together?
Almost 4 years, like 3.5 years.
4 years, you don't know if he does a little line or two or smokes some weed. You don't know that? You live in the same house?
You guys been living here the whole time?
Yes.
Okay. He's never been to the doctor or to the hospital during that time?
He and his brother got into a really bad argument at one point, and he had to have facial reconstruction. But he has been in the hospital from that, and then I talked him into going to see, like, a regular physician so he could get just like a regular, like, checkup thing. Yeah. But there were no red flags.
How long ago was that?
The surgery or the doctor?
Both.
The surgery, I think, was at this point, what, 2 years maybe? 2.5 years?
Girl, bye.
The checkup was probably a good 2 years too.
Okay.
And the suitcase is still in there?
Yep, always.
Is it normally stored down there? Did you guys travel recently?
No, he was going to start putting some of the, what do you call it, donations in there. So that's why,
That's why it's out?
Yes.
Okay. You guys didn't recently travel somewhere or anything like that?
After you zipped them up, did you move the bag around and mess with them at all, or you just zipped it up and walked away?
My both were laughing about it, but I went upstairs and I fell asleep.
Okay. But what position was he in when he went in? Was he sitting on his rear end and his head up, and he just kind of bent over?
Okay, so like this is the suitcase. Like this was his head, and then his feet right here, and his feet were down.
So he was laying on his side.
Yes.
Yes. You just closed the flap and zipped it around.
Yes.
Him. Okay.
I believe we were playing.
Understandably. Okay.
So he said that I needed to tell you guys about his family. Like, who do I talk to about that?
We're gonna do that once we walk through and see. Yeah, we're
not going anywhere. We're gonna be here for a while.
I'm just telling you, like,
this is gonna be a while.
I'm afraid for my life. I want you to know that. I am afraid for my life. His family have never liked me. I'm the blue-eyed white devil, is what they call me. So.
Do you see her trying to pull the Karen card out? I'm the blue-eyed white devil. That's what she just said. Okay, so we're watching the Sarah Boone body-worn camera when the police first showed up to the scene. So she's trying to pull a Karen card out. She's trying to inject a little bit of racism, basically using the fact that George is Hispanic and saying she's afraid for his life. And they called her a blue-eyed white devil. And yeah. Karen, no, I mean, I'm like Karen. Sarah, nobody's buying that right now. George is the one who's dead. So you get no sympathy, and they actually have to call the family to inform them that not only their son, uncle, brother, he is a father, I think, of 2 or 3 children. And if they didn't like you, they're probably getting confirmation of that because maybe they felt bad vibes as it pertained to you and knew that this would be George's undoing if he was dealing with you. Like most families get a sixth sense, like you shouldn't deal with her because she's trouble. And then guess what? You get the call, the ill-fated call from the call you never want to get, which is from the police department that something is wrong and something happened to someone. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they felt. It might not have had anything racism to do with it. At the end of the day, they may have just felt that you had a bad vibe, sis.
They've never taken me in. They've never accepted me. I'll put it that way.
Have you called any of them?
We talked to his daughters yesterday.
No, I mean, like about this. Does
No.
anyone know? Okay.
That's
So
why
no one's gonna know until we will be making that notification. So
they're going to kill me.
Okay. Well,
Do they live local?
Yes, they're down the road. They're going to kill me. His kids are going to kill me in Philadelphia. They're going to kill me. This was not intentional.
Okay.
And they're not going to understand that. They're not going to accept it.
I wouldn't understand it or accept it either. I'd be like, bitch, I'm coming for you. Stay where you're at. Where you at?
We're gonna do a thorough investigation, and we will definitely make sure that
Here she goes.
feels
Yes,
when we leave.
Karening.
Okay.
And
When we
my
leave.
9-year-old.
Well, he's at school. And he's with your husband.
I know. Well,
Ex-husband.
Your husband said that, or your ex-husband said he made arrangements for your 9-year-old to be picked up.
Oh, okay, Mom. Probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go inside if that's okay.
Yes, please. But can you guys just keep me posted
Of
so
course.
I know what's going on?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't.
All you have to do is get their attention if you have a question or you need to talk to us. He's standing right there. She'll be right here.
Yeah. Okay, but will you guys tell me, like, so you're telling me, like, you won't call whoever it is without telling me, right?
No.
I mean, I have all their phone
And we're
numbers.
not calling. We're not making phone calls. We're actually going to speak to them in person.
Yeah.
We
That'll
are.
be later
They're
on.
going to. Okay.
It'll
You'll
be
know
later.
prior to us making any
I'm
contact.
not going to be here.
Okay.
They're going to kill me.
Okay.
We'll address all of that, okay, before we leave. Okay?
This was,
Look at the neighbor.
Okay?
Look at the neighbor coming out. Look at them. They're like, oh shit.
Thank you.
Just stay seated, okay, Sarah? I know
Hey, do you know these people? Do you know her over there? Did you know her, Sarah and George, 3 doors down?
you're panicking, okay? Just relax. We'll come and talk to you. We'll keep checking on you.
Hey.
Now she's concerned who's picking up Lucas, but let Brian tell it, her ex-husband. It was nothing for Brian to be at the school waiting to be picked up and her not to show up. Look at her. Sit show ass down. What's she coming for again? Can I get a cigarette? Hey, I need some more water. Can I get my Dr. Pepper, please? Excuse me. Did you get me a cigarette? Hello? Please, can you get me a Dr. Pepper? Did he come back? Can I go? I think George was still in the doorway. Mm-hmm. Yes, she'd passed out on a neighbor's patio before. Yes. She was a known drunk in the neighborhood. The next door neighbor said that they heard a very loud noise the night that George was killed. It was thought that maybe he was in the suitcase up the stairs. And when they're saying the contusions and all that stuff, it's possible she zipped him upstairs and threw him down the steps in the suitcase. and that's word on the street. They heard a very loud noise. It wasn't uncommon to hear noises coming from their apartment, but that night it was a particularly loud noise, and it could be consistent with her pushing the suitcase down the steps. That's the word. That's the word I heard.
You want to talk? I'm on. Yeah.
Well, we're
You don't
here,
know
so
anything though, like why or how?
So we will not know the answer to that because we're not. So what's going to happen is he's going to go to the medical examiner's office and he'll have what's called an autopsy. Yeah. That'll be first thing tomorrow morning. I'll know a lot, hopefully a lot more tomorrow morning as far as him. But I cannot. There's no way I could say how, why.
This is what I also think. Let's say she did throw the suitcase down the stairs, right? And he hurt his back by the fall down the steps in the suitcase. The suitcase might have protected him, but also could have hurt him too, right? Especially if the suitcase bammed up against the wall, right? Now, he's a grown man, even though he's little and they're both tiny people. He's still a man, right? So you let him out the suitcase and he might have gone full on violence with her, right? Because you were playing and then you throw me down the steps in a fucking suitcase, and when I get out this suitcase, like, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, whoop that trick, right? So style. That's a very dangerous game she was playing that night. You know what I mean? Like that, somebody was bound to die that night, and it ended up being George. I think George fell for the okie doke getting in the suitcase. I think they were drunk. She was hiding upstairs. He never came to follow her. She got mad. She got him to get into the suitcase, tricked him some type of way to get in there. Like, oh, we're going to throw this away. Let's see who fits, something like that. You don't play hide and go seek with one other person and you zip yourself in a suitcase. It just doesn't make sense. I don't even like that part of the story. I think is trash. I think that's like that's an extra detail for it to not be her fault. It's convenient that the extra detail that makes no sense to anybody is the aspect of it that she's trying to finesse it to not be her fault, right? When do they cuff her? It's like a day or two later. They're waiting for the autopsy to see, but you know, I'm sure they'll have someone parked out wherever she's at.
So just by looking at him, like, why is he purple?
Oh, that's normal.
The Sarah Boone body worn video.
as soon as the heart stops beating, the blood starts to settle to the lowest points of the body. And then it becomes very pronounced. So that's called a public bleed. It happens every night.
I'm like really scared. I want you guys to know that.
Look around. You have all these deputies here, so while we're here, nothing's going to happen to you. Before we go and make any notifications, you'll have plenty of time to leave or do whatever you need to do. Okay? And we can talk about that more in length. But yeah, it's not going to be a surprise.
Real quick, and then, but like, I don't like this was totally like not intentional. Like that's what I'm scared about too. Like
you should have thought about that before you.
We'll have a lot more answers tomorrow after medical examiner looks at it. Like she said, what you're seeing here is common. This is us coming out to the scene. Yeah, his age, no real medical history that we know of. For him to have passed away, we come out.
I know.
Yeah. We come out and do an investigation. Medical examiner's office, we send people out. This is what we do. If he was 75 years old and had a history of heart condition, we wouldn't be here.
I just don't know I don't know what it is.
Exactly. And that's what we're here to find out. We're just here to get the answers. The answers that you want, the answers that his family's going to want.
I just really want to see my son. Like, I really need to see my son. Well, I mean, I know I can't go anywhere, but.
No.
Right. So do I just like sit out here and wait for you guys?
If you would, yes, please.
Is anybody else having to show up, or everybody's here that needs to be here?
My team's here
Yeah.
that needs to be here. The medical examiners will show up when we call them, but we're not ready for them yet. So they're going to take him, they're going to take some photos, take him, but that's towards the end of it. And they'll be called well in advance when we're ready for them, but we're not ready for them at this point. So we won't be calling them quite yet. Okay. So like I said, I got to go do some paperwork. They're going to chat with some people, and then we're going to come back and talk to you if you're okay with that.
Yes,
So just give us a little bit more time. Like I said, I need to go and do that, and he's going to go do
So, but do you guys tell his family like today or after tomorrow?
We have to.
It's the
By
law.
law, we have to go make contact with the tenant.
Yeah.
They have to be notified.
Once our investigation is pretty much complete here, once we leave here, we will be going to.
But again, you'll know. We're not going to just go into it without you knowing. You'll know. We'll talk to you prior to doing anything like that.
But how? I mean, I understand what you guys and how you do it, and you know. So, but like, what do you just tell him? What do you tell his parents? Like, what's the reason?
He's
We
dead.
tell them what we know at that point.
Yeah.
We tell them the truth.
And that we're going to be waiting for the autopsy results, and I will be at the autopsy in the morning, and hopefully the doctor will be able to give me some of what they think and see.
Yeah. We'll give them their number. They can contact them and get it from them.
But yeah, they're gonna know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that
They're gonna think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that.
What have they
I
said?
told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's
Because they
basically
knew you
just
were
not really
trouble,
been around his
sis.
family because he chooses me over them.
They
Even
knew you were
after I've
trouble.
encouraged him numerous times to go over there and see his family. They've never accepted me, and they've always been unforgiving, I'll say that, where they've never
Thank
accepted me.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My ass, so especially his sister. He had to pull her off me one time.
Do you have somewhere safe that you can go tonight?
Both my parents are deceased, my grandparents are deceased, my aunt and uncle are deceased. I got nobody. I have a brother that's in the Marines, and I've got another one that's in jail.
Unless the brother that's
Girl, and the one that's in jail, baby.
Well, he's in Altamont, but I think he's doing whatever Marine thing he's doing. But the only way
your phone's inside, correct?
Yes.
The one that's in prison is a sex offender, but we're not talking about that right now.
Does he have a phone?
No.
He doesn't have a phone.
He used my phone.
He uses your phone.
Yeah, we did it
share a
together.
phone.
So the only place I could go is over to Brian's house. So I don't think he'll have a problem with it. Okay. So
Well, like I said, we're not going to leave here. If you do not feel safe, you're not going to leave here with you not feeling safe, because then we're liable.
and then his ex-wife in Philadelphia.
Well, she's in Philadelphia, but yes.
Shoot. There's gonna be a funeral.
Right. That you're talking like days and weeks.
No,
I'm talking right here, right now.
I know.
So let me do my investigation. Let me go do this paperwork that I'm talking about, because we can go back and forth about what ifs like all day long.
I know. Sorry.
I promise we're not going to leave here for you and you not feel safe. Okay. I promise.
Please. Okay. Well, I don't even know what to tell you.
It's okay. Just take a seat, have some water, give us a few minutes, let us do our thing, and we'll be back to talk to you, I promise, okay?
Like you said, if you need us again, just let them know.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Martina,
Yeah.
go ahead and type.
Okay.
Sit down and type and keep like eyes on. Do you have anyone in here?
There's nobody here, just me.
Okay, that's fine. You're right there, right?
Yeah.
Sit there and type. You're fine. I have relief coming, so just get type.
Okay. Okay, let me show you guys this real quick, and then we can get back caught up on this some more. I mean, there's a ton of this to go through. I mean, because this has been going on for 4 years now. This is just a quick his family real quick. Hold on. I guess we could show the whole thing. All right, I guess show the whole thing.
2 years ago in Winter Park, Florida, Jorge Torres was zipped into his suitcase by his girlfriend. Why Sarah Boone did that? She says it was a game of hide and seek, but she's going to have to tell that to a jury. Because she whipped out her phone afterwards and videotaped him begging for his life as he slowly suffocated. Up until now, his parents have not spoken, his family has not spoken, but tonight they are. I'm joined by the reporter who got that interview for us, News Nation national correspondent Alex Capriello. He joins me live. That trial is coming up July 4th, and you are hearing exclusively from the parents. What did they tell you about what they know about?
So let me correct that. July 4th did not happen because maybe she was on her 6th lawyer at that time. She just went through her 8th. She's now pro se representing herself, which is making this even more interesting. On top of that, it's just been delay after delay after delay after delay. They are set to get this thing started in October. So just a footnote on that.
About the case.
Yeah, it really dawned on me, Ashley, that there's been so much attention on Sarah Boone, so much focus on the bizarreness of this trial that perhaps no one has ever really taken time to speak to the Torres family. And it turns out my suspicions were correct. Within the 3 years since Sarah was arrested, they haven't spoken to any national or local media outlets, had the chance to say their side of the story. So we sat down at their kitchen table and they really just opened up to me all about who George was, what he meant to their family, and also, of course, his relationship with Sarah, which, by the way, they never approved of. But interestingly, Ashley, George's mother tells me that she has a great deal of sympathy for Sarah because if she is convicted, she'll never have the opportunity to raise her son like she did with her many children. Take a listen.
He was a good son. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good son. And every time that he come here, every time, he just stand in that wall and he said, Mom, I love you. Mom, I love you. I said, I know you love me. They come and give me a hug. And then he look at his father and he said, Pop, you're my hero. You're my hero. He was a father. He was my son. He was an uncle. He was a cousin. And he was a friend. I was a nephew. She don't kill only my son. I feel sad for her. I don't feel sorry. I feel sad. And I don't hate her. Really, I don't. I don't have that in my heart. I never hate nobody.
Gosh, so powerful to sit there with her as she explained more about her son. Interestingly, she said that she's never seen that cell phone video that shows George locked up in that briefcase, or I'm sorry, that suitcase. She says she has no intention of seeing it, but she will be there at the trial seeking justice.
It's going to play at the trial. I hope they give her a big advance warning because it is hard for us to watch it. I can't imagine a mother hearing her son begging like that. You also spoke with George's brother, Ezekiel Torres. It was off camera. What does he think about what happened?
Yeah, it was really a struggle for Ezekiel to talk about his older brother, George, because for so long during this relationship between George and Sarah, the family just disapproved of it. They disapproved of Sarah. And so Ezekiel told me that when he saw Sarah and George walking toward him, he'd turn his back and walk away. And that now has led to an immense amount of regret that he has, that he didn't have a chance to actually say goodbye to his brother. So he's certainly going to be at that trial. He wants to see a guilty conviction come down because he sees that as the only way that his brother and his family, who are just so heartbroken, can get justice.
Alex Capriello, a fantastic exclusive interview. Congratulations for landing that, and thank you for bringing it to us. I appreciate it. Alex Capriello reporting live for us tonight. Thank
Okay, guys, you guys have been fully caught up. Well, we're not fully caught up, but you guys have been, this has provided some awareness to the Sarah Boone case. If you have not heard about this has been like 4 years in the making. The George died in 2020, February 2020, and the trial process is to start. I do have a Sarah Boone playlist. There's other stuff to watch. We can definitely watch the interrogation video because it is very, like, we did high level talk about the affidavit, the arrest narrative, but Definitely scroll back. If you're just now coming in, go back about 2 hours ago. We read it. Very interesting. Anyway, guys, I got to run because I got to get on my mom duties. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's a tough topic, but again, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we are going to watch the legal system. We're going to watch the process take place and the trial and all of those things, but to kind of understand what's happening, seeing some of this background stuff will really help when the trial gets started, to have a good foundation of knowing what's actually going on here. And so this is like some good prep, because like just like how we know so much about what's going on with Nesto and his case and the nuances and some of the cast of characters, and when these people come through the courtroom, this is that. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming through. This was fun. Hit the like button for me. Hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, you enjoy this, go ahead, subscribe to this channel. Make sure your notifications are set to all. I do want to get back together on some Nesto later. I just wasn't prepared for it today. But we're going to talk specific as it pertains to what's going down on tomorrow, not on the intrinsic evidence. We're going to talk about the relationship. Okay. So I do want to get together on that. So anyway, guys, I hope that you have a good afternoon. Let me go get on my mom stuff, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Okay. Thanks for coming through, guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Bye.